Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your love and relationship reading for you. Now, whenever this reading finds you is the exact moment that Spirit wants you to hear this message. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Also, if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is linked in the description box below. There we go. I can speak. All right. At the heart of everything is the King of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Cups. Very interesting, very powerful energy to come forward first. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. Ooh. Okay, I like that. We have the Emperor. I like that too. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Four of Swords, Angels, and Spirit Guides. Show me clearly. The Five of Swords. The Three of Swords. This makes sense. Angels and Spirit Guides. Show me clearly. Okay. And we top everything off with the King of Wands. Of course we do. Now, you are represented by the King of Wands. Just to let you know, you are represented by fire energy in the minor arcana. You have the Ace of Wands here. So a gift is coming to you. You're most definitely taking this gift. Now, things are a bit complicated, which, to be honest, is how I like my readings. I like them to be real, and I don't like it to be like, oh, and everything's roses and puppy dogs and sunshine, and it's all just so fantastic. And if you don't have that, what's wrong with you? Because that's not how life works. So here you have very strong masculine energy. You have 3 out of the 4 kings coming forward, meaning that if you are into guys, this is an intense time for you. If you are not into guys, there's just very masculine energy. You'll be in your masculine energy. The person you are attracted to, or in a relationship with will be in their masculine energy. It can be very hard to have a give and a take during this time, so just being aware of that. You are crowned with the Emperor, which I love is 4 in the major arcana, because the Emperor represents all 4 of the kings. So you have just astoundingly strong energy coming forward. The Emperor represents Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. Whenever you are watching this reading, just know that that time frame has a significance to you, so just be aware of that. At the heart of everything is the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The King of Pentacles is about success. It is about nurturing success, seeing things build, seeing things grow. What you are looking for in either the relationship that you're in or the relationship that you are looking for is you are looking for things to grow. You are looking for things to become successful, prosperous, bountiful. This isn't a time where you're kind of sitting on your laurels saying, oh, I'd really like somebody to, gaze up at the sky with and, look at the clouds with. This is a time where you're like, who is a good match for me? Who is a good partner for me? Who will help things progress forward? And do we have the same dreams, the same ambition? Ambition is going to be very attractive to you. So being aware of that is just very important during this time. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this grounding energy, this kind of, show up and shut up type of thing, which can seem rude, but it's like, no, be quiet. I'm working, like, let me figure this out type of thing is going to be important. This person thinks before they speak, which again can be frustrating because you're like, okay, spit it out. Fire sign energy moves faster than earth sign energy. Think of a fire, and then think of how slowly the earth moves. So being aware of that is going to be very important here. Looking at what you're building, looking at what you're dreaming about, looking at what you want in your life is going to be a big deal. And there's going to be a significance in that. Now, it moves you to the challenge of the King of Cups. Now, as you know, if you guys are, part of the family here, whenever we have the King and the Queen of the same suit in the same deck together, that is most definitely a soulmate connection, true love connection. Both of these, though, are in interesting placements because this is the challenge with the King of Cups, and the energy that is now moving away is the Queen of Cups. So there's a sense of emotional connection, and it can be hard to connect emotionally during this time. It can be hard to have that vulnerability come forward, or you can really feel like, wow, we were so committed to each other, we were so connected, and now we're not. Now we're like more like business partners type of thing. Making time to connect emotionally, spiritually, energetically, embracing things like Chakra or sound healing or whatever it is that you do that puts the souls together, That's going to be very important during this time. Not undervaluing touch and not undervaluing the time that like is needed to feel seen. That is also going to be very important here. There is a sense that you feel the craziness of the world, and that can be overwhelming. So just noting that, seeing that, saying that, and be like, okay, this feels crazy and I feel overwhelmed by it, is going to be important. It can also be you have a lot on your plate right now. Everybody's demanding a different thing from you. You are showing up emotionally to a lot of different, a lot of different needs, a lot of different people, or a lot of different situations. And you want somebody to show up for you. And you can be very sensitive if they miss the mark, right? If they're not showing up the way that your heart needs them to. So just being aware of that and never underestimating, Sagittarius, the power of communication. You are a very, very good communicator. You always strive towards the truth. You hold up that banner, you move things forward. And so here, that's going to be important. Now, with the Ace of Wands at your root, this is a gift from God, source, spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, that, of course, as we said earlier, you absolutely take. And this is something where you are illuminating your passion, you're illuminating your fire, you're illuminating what it is you want in your life and how it is that you want to move forward for you. And as you're embracing this fire, this passion, this tenacity, this insight, you're going to be aligning with the passion that gets you out of bed in the morning, okay? Aligning with your own creativity, the beautiful, special spark that is you, and not necessarily having to fall into line with everybody else. So during this time, you want to connect with that spark. You want to connect with that fire, and you want somebody who sees that and who kind of stokes that fire, brings passion forward in their own lives, and then in that connection of you two together, then pulls away from it. So being aware of this is going to be important. Also, you've already had a lot of relationships that steal your joy, where people diminish you, belittle you, make you doubt yourself. You've been through it, okay? And this is going to be a time where you say, but this is my passion, this is my fire, this is what I want, and this is what I'm looking for. It moves you to a place that you've been through a lot of healing. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to your heart, when it comes to what you want from relationships, the way that you want to move forward for you, there's healing, there's connection, there's grounding, there's insight. The Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, very strong water sign energy here. And there is a sense of, how do I hold up what I love? And how do I let that guide me? There's also fear because, again, you have been hurt in the past. That's coming through quite plainly as we see it right here in these cards. And what you're going to say is like, how do I let myself feel? How do I trust my heart if it doesn't always work out the way that I want it to, right? If I have been hurt in the past, or if I don't feel like I can, it's almost like I'm not different from who I once was. So how will I not be hurt again, right? I'm still me, and you're still proud of being you. But what that person picked apart is still a core sense of who you are. And you can't change yourself enough to run away from your own shadow. Like, that's just impossible. So here, embracing your healing, embracing your connection, and moving away from the craziness of the world, but also stepping out of the ego of somebody else, that's going to be important, and that's going to be empowering. It moves you then to the Emperor. That's your strength. Now, the Emperor here is that when you meet a person, this is going to be a protective, powerful person. It might not be that they have oodles and goodles of money. What it means is that they are powerful in their presence. They own their kingdom. They own what they need. They own what they want, and they are showing up. This is a person who gives 150%. You have also been in relationships where it seems like the person shows up, but the person is really being manipulative. So being mindful about that, you'll be distrusting of this showing up, whether you are attracted to men, women, or anything in between. What you are going to see here is that there is a fire and a passion that you are going to be drawn to. There is also a sense of really wanting security, Sagittarius. You don't want the fly-by-night, just fun times type of thing. You're looking for something deeper, and you're looking for something more. If you're in a relationship, it is really embracing, owning your passion, your desire, what it is that you want, and being communicative with that and with that determination, okay? Because here with the Emperor, you're building your kingdom, but you're building more than that. You're building your empire. You're building something so much greater than you had even expected you could have. And you're moving forward in success. You're moving forward in success in relationships, but you're also moving forward in success within yourself. It has been hard won. This isn't more like, oh, I'm just going to sit on the throne and everything's going to, flow easily into my life. This is, I've worked hard. I've, sacrificed a lot. I'm going after what I desire. And having somebody who respects that and who sees that may not always, show up for you in the way that you would like them to, but in a way that is present and kind and compassionate and productive. That's going to be a very big thing. And that is a very big thing for you. With the Six of Wands, it's moving towards your success, your prosperity. It's moving towards what it is that you want in your life, not what others are expecting or demanding of you. It's holding your head up high, and it's going after your dreams with kind of single-minded determination. It's going to be really funny because you are really single-mindedly determined, but you are also calling in love, and that love actually helps build you in success. Now, the atmosphere during this time is a sense of like needing to rest, like needing to slow things down, not adding. Some of us are really good adders and some of us are really good subtractors, meaning that when we get upset, we're like, nope, I'm done. Everything has to go. And others are like, okay, I just have to work things out even more. I just have to put more on my plate. This is going to be a time of neither extreme, though you're going to tend to be more of an adder than a subtractor. There is a sense here of guarding yourself in your relationships, in what you love, in what you want, because you have been hurt in the past. So going in like, a lamb to slaughter is not what you want. There is an intensity to love, and there's an intensity to life that you've learned. So if the person says, you're a bit guarded, you are. And instead of seeing that as an insult, being like, yeah, okay, you know what? I can see that. I can respect that, right? We don't always like, helpful critiques, but when we step back from being hurt by them, having our egos hurt by them and looking at it and saying, oh, okay, I see it. I understand. Let me see, like, let us connect. Like you say what you want and I say what I want. And this is going to be a really big time for listening, but this is going to be a really big time for showing up in honesty for yourself and saying, is this person safe to trust? Or is this person going to weaponize this against me? And sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you think, oh my gosh, this is the safest person ever. And then things can go sour and they can turn on a dime. But they usually show you how they fight, so just be aware of that. You have spirit guarding you. You have a part of yourself that has been slumbering. This is more of the sensual, connective part of you that has been slumbering because you haven't connected to the person or a person the way that you want to. If you're in a relationship, you can still feel like there's a bit of a holding back. And this is really saying to yourself, what do I want? Like if I get to be totally selfish in what I want from love, what do I want? And then let yourself say it. Let yourself explore it. Let yourself see it. That's going to be important here. Saying the truth, honoring your dreams, that's going to be important. Now, the traumas from old relationships, even from seeing, relationships that fall apart and you're like, oh, not me. No, thank you. Not getting on that bus. Being aware of that here is going to be a very important thing. You're also not the same person that you were. You have learned a lot. You have been through a lot. There have been crucibles, there have been challenges, there has been a forging that comes, and you have been the fire and you have been what is forged. So you have been the fire and the sword at the same time here, Sagittarius. And what you're going to see is that you've won. You've won battles. You've been moving forward in success, and you are wielding that knowledge, that power with determination, focus, and insight. You're not the same person that you were. There is no sense of apologizing, that things didn't happen when you were younger, that this didn't happen, that didn't happen. The die has been cast. Now it is time to say, what beauty can I take from this die and create with and cultivate with? How do I move these swords that represent nobility, wealth, and power and make them work for me? Because I'm not giving them back so that people can run me through. Like I'm not giving away my power anymore. You gave away your power once upon a time. And now what you're looking for with yourself is power, intensity, and determination. Owning that, even though Sagittarius, at times it is going to scare you. It is going to be like, whoa, can I actually do that? And Spirit's like, yes, you can. You've already seen the fear of nothing I do is right. I can't move forward the way that I want to. I'm trying and now I'm just frozen. And now you're starting to count your wins. You're starting to see that there is a way out of darkness. Okay. And it's going to really come into play in your personal life. And it's like, I have achieved so much more than I thought I could achieve. I've moved forward in a way that seemed impossible. And now I can ask for what seemed impossible before, for a committed, beautiful love that builds us up and moves us forward and makes us feel like we can conquer the world, and also has that connection and that passion. Now, the hopes and the fear is the Three of Swords. And this is the fact that you've had your heart broken before, Sagittarius. You have loved, and it can be, and I know this sounds weird in a love reading to say, like, you loved a parent, or you loved a grandparent, or you loved this person, right? And they left. They didn't show up. Now, they could have abused that power, and that's a totally different reading that we cannot do here on YouTube. But here, with the Three of Swords, it is a sense of like, I loved and I lost. And there are three really big losses that you have gone through in your life. And if you're saying, dang, I had like one long-term relationship or two, you could have had three, right? You could have had more, but you could, like, if you step back and you say, what loss do I still feel now, even though it's been, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, like, what losses still hit, like, still hold weight to them, still feel kind of like a sucker punch when I'm not expecting it. And I didn't realize I still miss that person, right? I can think of people who have passed that I'm like, oh, wow. And so it brings a broken heart. And there's a fear with love, because love comes to an end. And I know that's not a sexy thing to say. Like, nobody likes to hear that. But there is a fear with that, because whether it ends in a breakup or whether it ends in the next adventure of life, or of having lived, it brings you then to a broken heart. And so here, it is that fear of the broken heart, but it is also the healing from the pain. And it's also knowing that those on the other side, okay, that you can miss with every single ounce of your being, soul, and heart, they want you to love. And they will put love in your past, in your path. And maybe even in your past that you're like, oh, wow, this person, and they're coming up now, like, that's interesting. Be aware of that. Because they're like matchmakers. They really are. They're like, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Like, they're putting these people in your path and saying, ooh, what about this? What about that? Like, did you not see him? Like, or her? Or, come on. It's cute. It's nice. Embrace it. Embrace it. Look at the world and don't think of the checklist that we have or the checklists that we hear online, which are ridiculous. and start to say, what does my soul want? Like, what is my soul craving? And it brings you then to the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is fire, tenacity, determination, and success. That's you. That's who you are. You are creative. You are fiery. You love well, okay? But you also fight well. So be aware of that, Sagittarius. You have passion in you. If it's not tempered by your other signs, or if you have a lot of fire in your chart, just be aware that it can be explosive. And that can be fun, but that also gets tiring. So just be aware of that. Taking that passion, taking that creation, embracing the transformation that is you. You've been through so much. You're not the same person you were. We see that with the Five of Swords. You have changed, you have evolved, you have been, kind of like preparing yourself for the day when the love comes in and the beauty comes forward. And it's like, oh my gosh, I get to have this. Like, this is beautiful. This is me. And it moves you to this place of claiming your kingdom. And your kingdom is of passion, of creativity, of innovation, of new ideas, of moving things forward, of asking deeper questions, of seeking out truth, the truth in love, the truth in self, the truth of what it is that you want. You are represented by Temperance in the major arcana, which isn't just about balance. It's about the truth within that balance. The insight within what harmonizes you. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody who shares the passion. They might be very, very opposite to who it is that you are, but they're also intriguing because they're different. And it's like, never expected that. But I can tell you, those on the other side are like, yes. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show them clearly. Ooh, this is not, let's see here. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Ooh, we have two. We have balance and love. We are finding balance within love. And we're also seeing the balance within love that we have for ourselves, that we want within our lives. You can wake up one day and be like, oh, it's time. Like, it's time to have a relationship. It's time to heal past hurts, right? It's time to connect in the way that we hadn't been before, what we swept under the rug, we're going to bring out, and we're going to see if it's a troll or not, type of thing. It's time to heal. It's time to find balance, and it's time for love to guide us forward. It moves you then to your chakra message, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is rebirth. We see that with the King of Wands, that is fire energy here. That's the salamander is transformation, right? We see that with rebirth. Rebirth is transformation. The butterfly transforms. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below your feet. Embracing nature and embracing, the natural world is going to help transform you in a way that you were disconnected from. And we are so disconnected, like as a people that have become primarily cave dwellers, right? We live in homes, we work in buildings, we have all this going for us, which is fantastic, but also it cuts us off from nature. We have the whole world at our fingertips, in our phones, on our screens, and it's like connecting to the world around us is going to be really important, and is really important, one of the biggest challenges that we have. And so here, with rebirth, you're seeing yourself reborn, you're seeing yourself transform, and you're seeing yourself ground yourself in a way that is exquisite, in a way that is unexpected. It moves you then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the King of Cups. That's that challenge energy. You had somebody, like this is a person who's a pretender, okay? Just going to call them as they are. They pretend to be very caring. They pretend to be very loving. They could be very loving and very caring when there's an audience to watch, but they will not keep up that love and that caring. They will be very domineering, and they will use emotional warfare. So just being aware of that. Now, either that was a partner that you have had, or that was a person you grew up with, or that is, that is somebody that's in your sphere that love bombs you, but then also, really mucks things up for you. Being aware of that is going to be really important here, and just calling it out. Like, you don't have to call it out to them. Like, I would actually really recommend you don't, but it's calling it out to you and be like, you know what? That's not cool. That's not fair. It moves you then to your spirit message, and that is light. It's embracing light and warmth. It's embracing what makes you feel cozy and seen. And that's going to be something like, especially if you're energetically inclined, it's going to be something where you feel the energy shift around you too. It's not through lust, though lust is fun, right? But it is through that quiet connection that you start to see your world open. And it moves you then to the chakra energy of visualization. See what it is that you want. And I remember listening, I think it was Mel Robbins. Is it Robinson? I don't know. But she said, you have to visualize what will go wrong. And I thought, oh, sounds wise. Like, that sounds wise. But here's the thing. I don't know about you. I tend to worry. And if there's not something to worry about, I'll make it up. Like, I'll get there. Don't worry about it. It's just, I just haven't thought hard enough. So if I start to think of everything that can go wrong, it is really hard for me personally to move past that. So to sit there and say, okay, life is human, it is chaotic, that there's that chaos element in everything, but this is what I want. This is what I'm going after, and this is what I'm building. And if I start putting those mental robots in my own mind, like to deter me, they will deter me. So here, when you visualize, it's saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm moving forward towards, this is what I'm going after, and visualize it, like see it, and say, okay, and see yourself succeeding. Spirit will put the hurdles in your way. You have your Akashic records, right? You have the things that you have to go through in this life that just are like, if somebody told you, if you had a reading and somebody said, oh, these are all the things, you'd be like, that was the worst reading I ever had. Like, how absolutely fanciful could that person be? And then it would all line up, and you'd just be slack-jawed. So be aware of this. Be aware with the visualization of what it is that you want, what it is that you're moving forward towards, and that powerful belief within yourself that guides you forward. So when it comes to love, yeah, things can go wrong. We all see that, right? But to love, I just think of Betty White, often because I do love the Golden Girls, but Grandma Core is huge within me. But like with Betty White, when she said that the one regret that she had in her life is that she told her husband no, like to wait a year before they got married. And she said, I wish we would have had that year together. I mean, that's like a regret that I would like. Like, that is beautiful. It moves us then to the subconscious energy to be mindful of. And it's the Ace of Swords. Be mindful of somebody weaponizing your words, or just weaponizing words. Like, they can be a wordsmith. They can be really good at arguing and debate, and it's just like good with words. And they will use that as a weapon. It's meant to be a gift, to be able to share your deepest wants and desires, to be able to share your dreams with somebody, to be able to say, this is what I'm building. That's sacred. That's beautiful. And it's not something that should be weaponized at all. I mean, it can be. We're human. We throw things at each other, you know, kind of like monkeys throwing poo. But like, we tend to do that. But like, just knowing that there's beautiful knowledge that comes forward. And if somebody starts like using that against you and being manipulative about it, and doesn't say like, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry, like I was having a really bad day, be aware. And if they do that too much and they're always having a bad day, beware. It moves you then to the Page of Cups. You have the King, you have the Queen, you have the Page. Now, this could be some interesting co-parent dynamics. So just being aware of that for those that resonates with, like, keep in mind what your inner child would like and what your child would like, okay? But here also, it is an unexpected gift moving you forward and blessing your love. Excuse me, and blessing you. Let me take a sip of water. And as that gift moves you forward in love, it moves you forward in connection, you are going to see that you are surprised, and that inner child that says love is everything shines through and comes through with joy and acceptance. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending lots of love your way. I love you all. Bye.